Good day everyone, and welcome to a new series of Hearts of Iron 4. This is going to be Season 2, and of course we're in Episode 1, and this series is going to be entitled China for the Win. Now, it may be a very short series, because I've done a couple of test plays of the scenario for China, and one was a failure and the other one was just by the skin of my teeth a success. So it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be an alright video series or it's going to be a really short series. But that's okay, you're allowed to have short series and we see how we go. So we are going to play China, and we are going to play as Nationalist China, but of course there's no Nationalist China in Hearts of Iron 4. In fact, I think in Hearts of Iron 4, oh, they're no good doing that, it's us. In Hearts of Iron 4, they're actually the Kuomintang. Yes, they are. The Kuomintang, which is run by Chiang Kai-shek, who in the real historic world ends up over here in a little place called Taiwan, post-World War II. But I digress. So the plan for China is to try and get China in the best possible position we can in order to take on the Japanese, and not just hold the Japanese, but literally take them on, so that we can in fact come out of this victorious as China. That's the plan. Now, credit where credit is due. There are two sources for the inspiration for the strategy that we're going to use in this series. One of them is Feedback Gaming, a video that he did, I think it was 2 years ago now. Well, it's 2020 and I think he published the video in 2018. So I'm going to put a link to Feedback Gaming's channel and to the video in the description below. And also a write-up in the Hearts of Iron 4 Wiki for strategy for China. So it's kind of a mix of those two different sources. So the upshot of the strategy is we're going to concentrate primarily on our infantry, and because, you know, we've got I'll show you, we've got two R&D slots. That's it. Total 2 R&D slots. We've got so many problems. This is a benefit. Land doctrine research speed plus 10. 9 power treaty is just horrible. Right? Just horrible. We've got army corruption. Look at this. Mobilization speed minus 30. Division attack minus 50. And division defense minus 50. Then we've got ineffective bureaucracy. The recruitable population drops by 35%. Oh, great. Incompetent officers. Daily military power gain minus 70. And then we've got inflation issues over here, which causes no end of trouble. But that's basically where we're at. And we struggle. That corruption is huge. It really is huge. So what we're going to do is, this is the plan anyway, we set up China, we concentrate on the infantry, and we get ourselves ready for war. We need to expand as rapidly as we can. So the absolute first thing we're going to do is try and take out the warlords. Now, if you look at the warlords, I'll come out here for a second. Shaanxi, Zhaibei Sanma, Yunnan, and the Guangxi clique. Now, and of course Communist China, but Communist China is a separate one. Now, in terms of the warlords, this guy here, Xiang Qiang, right, he's a nice guy here, he is a warlord, but he actually aligns with Communist China. So the chances are and this is where it gets tricky, some of these guys, or four of them, yeah, some of these guys will come over to our side and they'll be our puppets, and some of them will stand against us. And you can't pick it. Normally, like I had a few goes actually of doing it before the game, and the Guangxi click normally doesn't come over. But in the last game I played, they did come over, and that caused me all sorts of trouble. But because I was not prepared for it. But it could be that we have issues with that. And then as the last step, we take out the communists and Xinjiang at the same time. Now, if that all goes well, and we are able to build up our military, and we're able to get the warlords, we still have to have that all under control before Japan and Manchukuo declare war on us. And that's where the issue comes in. It's a question of the timing. Can we get all this done and out of the way and still get to the border before war is declared? It's close. So far, the best I've done on 3 attempts is 2 failures and 1 just made it in time. And I haven't played beyond getting to the border in time. So beyond that, it's a whole different ballgame. So that's the plan. So let's get started straight away. And the first thing we want is, believe it or not, artillery. We're going by the strategies that we've read, right? So there's not an issue there. The second thing we want is the Type 24, because what we've basically got is a ton of infantry. Right, so that takes care of our R&D. Now, in terms of free civilian factories, we need military factories, and we need to build them on the best infrastructure areas that we can put them. So let's check that out first. This guy is Chockers. We could go over here. Now, actually we could go here. Let's see how many we can get in there. 1, 2, right. Now, let's go look for some more fire. Oh, no, I'm not putting any up there. That's like, no. Now, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one because we possibly could hold off the Japanese around here. But I don't know. Well, you know what? I think we should, because otherwise we've got problems. So there's 4. Now, we can bump up some infrastructure, like here, and then we can add 1 in there, which is not unreasonable. What else can we do infrastructure-wise? You're too full. We could, actually, got anything over here? Yeah, we got 1 there. And then we can put you in there for 6. So what have we got? 2, 4, 5, 6. 6. Happy with that to start off with. Okay. Free military factories. Easy. All of 4 of you there and a new one. Now, why am I going to put a new one in there? I'm going to put a new one in there because I can fit 2 more in. I want the fighter, do I? Know you what? I want the interwar bomber. Okay, let's put those in there to start off with. Now, I'm building 2 of these because very soon, as soon as we get that new rifle and infantry equipment done, we're going to switch one of these over straight away. But we're going to keep the other one going because we still have shortages. So this one, which will be operating at full capacity, we'll leave that one at the old rifle, and this one, which won't be, we'll switch that over to the new one straight away. And we will be taking factories away from these, maybe, once we get artillery going, which we want almost instantly. So then we need the national focus. So this is what we're going to do. Here we are. We're going to go down the 3 principles of the people, nationalism, prioritise the interior, and then we're going to drop straight down to subjugate the warlords. The minute we have that, we're going to go to war with the warlords, and then we're going to turn on communist China, and then we're going to try and get army reform going as soon as we... Well, actually, you know what? We might even, if we've got time, and I think we do actually, we're going to go and get the expand the academica in Sinica there if we can. And that research bonus doesn't go astray either, actually. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so that's set up. National focus. Oh, I was there and I didn't even set the national focus. Well done. Good work. Happy to oblige. Right. Now, the next thing I want to do is get some steel, because we do need steel. And I'm going to get it from places where we don't need to get convoys going, and I'm going to go, going to go there for 1 factory to start with. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go in for 2 factories because we just need steel. Must have steel. And then we're going to bring our Air Force together. Everyone is going to Shanghai. And when we get to Shanghai, everyone is going to go on training. And in fact, everyone is also going to get set to 30. Okay, set limit. You get divided in half. You get set to 30. You get set to 30. Why have we got 2 of those? I don't recall making 2 of those. Did I make 2 of those? I must have split them in half. Whoops, too far. Now, where are the rest of them? Oh, of course they haven't come over yet because we are still paused. Okay, now we have one more task to do, and that is to sort out the army. So this is what we're going to do with the army. And I'm incredibly glad that you asked me. So first of all, we're taking this guy who's going to be in charge of people. And then we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to get 12 of you, and we're going to give you to this guy, Sun Li Zhen. He's my favourite general. Then we're going to get another 12 of these guys. The Jun Tuan, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing these correctly, by the way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And my second favourite general is this guy right here. Only because he's already an infantry leader. Yes, infantry leader. And then we're going to take 12 of these guys, which are Jun Tuan, which are the garrison troops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put you in there. Come back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put you in there. Now at this point I'm going to start the game running, because I'll just double check that we've got everything set up. The 3 principles of the people, the research and development, the trade. We've got 6 military factories for production. We've got all our current military factories assigned. We're not making any of those, and we've got a shortage. And it turns out that the shortage is really like 4,000. So if we start this on, let's say 3, because we've got a way to go. Right, 230. Doesn't last long at 230. 2.7 thousand, there you go. That's on the first day. All right, so we're good. So this guy, now oddly enough, my favourite general for this guy is not this one here, the 4 rank, even though he's got a 5-4. My favourite is this guy, and the main difference is, first of all, he's got a -20 for planning and a 50% chance to get wounded. Less 50%. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. But look at that. Recovery rate -10, attack +1. But look at this guy. Attack +1, planning +1. I like this guy. So I put my favourite field marshal with my favourite general. And then my second guy, he goes with the number 4 dude, which is this one right here. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So now, the first thing we're going to do for everybody is just put them away somewhere, like there, and then get them training. Doesn't matter where we put them. Nothing is happening for a minute. Now, this guy actually, I'm very tempted to assign him to a field marshal, and I think I probably should. If for no other reason than to get some experience. Well, he's already been promoted. He's got a +50, so I don't like him at all. Attack +1. This guy's got some potential. So I'm going to bring him in. And then we'll set him up somewhere. Nanjing. Seems like a good spot to go, and then turn that on. All right, so everybody is now, and Air Force, sorry. Air Force should be here, and we need to train all these guys. Now, how we're going to go against the Japanese with our aircraft, I think we're going to get hammered, frankly, because it's all pre-war. But in terms of going against the communists and in terms of going against the warlords, very helpful. Very helpful. So that's what we're doing. So I think actually I'll just double check everything, because timing is of the essence in this. It is just so critical that we get everything right. The 3 principles of the people. Right, now, I'm going to watch it, because as soon as, I think it's, we can do that now. Okay, hold on. I'm going to use my computer on the side for a second. I just want to check out the Japanese, okay, my issue is when the stability, see, stability is 35. What's it talking about doing that? One of the following must be true. At peace or more than 70% stability. Right. So I think what we can do is we can do it just before subjugate the warlords. Because that's going to be quite beneficial for us. Now, just while the game's going on, we need to just keep an eye on this. it's still going to be a while before we get to use anything. So we'll just keep that running along for a wee minute. We'll go to the HOI4 Wiki in the other screen. Countries. Developers, land warfare. Okay, China. China. Communist China. Chinese nationalist focus tree. Chinese events. Marco Polo Bridge incident. That's it. Okay. Right. Actually, you know what we could do? I think we can go and have a look at the Japanese tree. Actually, that might be even easier. Unknown focus. But what we can do is find it. Hooly dooly. Hooly dooly. My gosh. Looks to me like Japan's incredibly complicated. Oh, hold on. No, that's the nationalist Spanish. Let's go down to 2 just while we're trying to figure this out for a minute. So it's not over there. No. Nationalist war. Ah, Marco Polo Bridge incident. So if they go as straight as they can, 1, 2, 3, it's 4. I don't think they go 4 because I think it took longer than that to get there. I think it was more like 7 because everything being 70, right? So what have we got to do? If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're in the Marco Polo incident. The extra slot is really useful. Really useful. But of course we also need army experience for 2 things. First of all, and I'll come here, we need the big one for army experience is the army reform. We absolutely have to start that as soon as we can. I still need the R&D though, so I'm going to push that back. But army reform's crucial to holding off the Japanese. So we need 150. No, we need 150. Army experience. We need 100 army experience, and plus we need the other thing too. We have to do is when we get the warlords, the ones that come over to us, we have to go through a process to absorb them. So we're going to need quite a bit of political power to do that as well. But we also need the military power, or experience I should say, to modify our templates, because we really do want to modify the template, and particularly from the Wiki entry. We want to get the Yun Tuan, or the garrison troops, up to a combat width of 10, and the Senjo Jun, we're going to go for a 7-2, that is 7 infantry and 2 artillery. That's what we'll be aiming for. Now, of course, we're also going to try and do that without running out of equipment. So that's a bit of a challenge as well. Oh, it's all exciting, really, isn't it? Okay, we'll go up. We'll go to 4 now, I think. 3 principles of the people. Details. Nationalism. Actually, let's just go back there for a second. What is the advantage of this? Research speed for industry. Let's check that out. Research speed industry, 41 days, industry. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, we definitely want that first up. Yep, definitely. Okay. But the first thing we're going to do, as soon as we can build artillery, we're going to build artillery and we're going to swap over our rifles to the new one. All good. All G, as they say in the business. Going along pretty well. Guys are getting trained. Everybody's happy. And in terms of rifles, 3,000 behind. So we're not going to be getting any guys out soon because they're all trying to catch up with where they're at. Now, hold on. Were you? Yes, no, we don't want you. We want that, and we want daylight only, actually. Thank you. Cool. And just double check to see how long we've got to go. 23 days there. And 40 days over there. I'm trying not to do some editing, but we'll try and just keep the game going because I don't want to compress time too much. So while we're just waiting for that, let's talk about the ideal situation here for a second. The ideal situation is that Guangxi comes over to us as a puppet. And I say that because in all the games where I've had to fight them, they delay me so much that I can't get up to Japan. But if in this game they don't come over and become a puppet, we're still going to fight them and try and get them under control because they have this tungsten, steel and chromium. Like, that is just so useful because if we don't get them, let's just go here for where are we going? Here. No, here. No, here. I got it right the first time. Up. Pause the game. Now, I am going to be pausing this a lot. I've got to let you know because timing is such an issue. I have to actually make sure I get all the orders in and everything without even wasting a day, right? So it's critical. So that's why we'll be doing that a lot. So we've got the rifle, the new infantry equipment and the gun. So the first thing I'm going to do is change you over to the new rifle, very important, and add the gun, bring the gun up here, and we want the gun operational like instantly. Right, so we're going to go 3 there, and then we're going to go up there and get those up, and then we're going to add 2 there. That's the plan anyway. Now, it's not too bad. That looks like, well, you know, we're suffering with the infantry equipment, but if we are actually able to knock over some of these warlords, we actually get their infantry equipment when they capitulate. So that's quite good for us. So it's not really as bad as it looks in that sense. So that's catching up with our shortfall, and this will be shortfall and actually garrisons. Set priority for equipment going to garrisons. Reinforcements. I reckon that's the way forward. Yep. Okay, now, here we go. So we've got that. Now we're going to get this because we want that. And then we are going to go over here and start getting some benefit to the R&D. So what have we got there? No, that's what? Research spleed. A spleed? It's a spleed, everybody! Run for the hills! Oh, I didn't even click it after all of that. Not so clever. Double check this. Yep, new one, old one, got it. Fine. And we still have negative 2,000, and we're building artillery, but it's not assigned anywhere. Very good. That's good. Let's carry on at speed 4. Addis Ababa, the Italians are doing their thing again. We'll go back here. Now, the one issue that we really do have, and it does actually cost us time normally, is that we don't know who's going to flip, you know, when we go and get the warlords. So we have to be pretty mindful about where we put our troops. So we've got 2 standard armies and we've got 1 small one. This small one over here is the one that we're going to turn into our coastal defence to stop the Japanese invasions. And then these 2, if the timing works out, are going to be up here on the borders defending us against the Japanese. That's the plan, anyway. Good plan, I heard you say. Excellent plan. What could possibly go wrong with that plan? That's what I heard them say. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 31 minutes in. How are we doing? Nationalism is about to tick over. You know what? I can't afford the time to go and get this. I just feel I can't afford the time. So we're going to skip that and we're going to go to the nationalism. Prioritise the interior. So, what I will do, because literally nothing is going to happen now, unless... Because there is one guy that I will get down here, and that is the infantry expert. Plus 10% division attack and plus 15% defence. So I'm going to get that guy at 150. So what I think I might do now, ladies and gentlemen, is that's going to take another 60 days. So I'll go and get our general, the infantry expert, and when I have completed prioritise the interior and we're ready to subjugate the warlords, I will come back in the next episode and we will do Hearts of Iron for China for the win. And we're just going to close off here, looking at this guy doing his push-ups in Zhongqing. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. And I hope it's actually not a 2-part series, but actually goes for a bit longer than that. But we shall see. So I will look forward to seeing you again in the Gig channel. Until then, everyone, please stay well, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.